Well, hey there, gang. It has been a minute. What have you been up to? Yeah? Mm-hmm. That sounds amazing. Hey, while we're talking about it, you want to play some head games? Friends, opponents, and everyone who just got back from a lengthy and amazing vacation. If you know, you know. Welcome to Head Games Arena. I am Jetterex, and today, for the first time since Standard Rotation, we are going to valiantly explore Bloomburrow Standard. And we're starting out with my personal favorite again, Golgari Green-Black. We're playing a Lands Matter deck. We're calling it Vinelasher Carnage, which is just slamming two of the card names together. Very importantly, we're going to talk about Iridescent Vinelasher. 1 mana, 1/2 with landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, deal 1 damage to target opponent. It commits crimes, it does damage. The idea of this deck is to create what friends of mine refer to as the land dance, where lands go to the graveyard and then they come back into play. They do an enormous amount of damage. So we have the damage dealer here in Vinelasher, lots of land support in Aftermath Analyst, who mills 3 cards, brings all the land cards from your graveyard back to the battlefield. Nissa for getting extra mana whenever lands enter the battlefield. Spelunking for making all those lands come into play untapped. Our friend, the old Blossoming Tortoise, who mills cards and also puts lands into play. The trick is with Pitiless Carnage. Under the right circumstances, we have the Vinelasher in play to do damage. We sacrifice all of our lands to Pitiless Carnage and then reanimate all of those lands, bring them back from the graveyard to play with Aftermath Analyst or our new Lord and Savior, Lumra, Bellow of the Woods. So when this card goes off and brings all those lands back, it's usually lights out for our opponents. Little bit of support for this very fast aggro metagame. Gix's command at the top end to hopefully clean up the board, maybe get us some lifelink or get creatures back from our graveyard. At the bottom end, go for the throat and cut down. Notably, I'm running 2 copies of Terra Sunder, almost specifically for Urabrask's Forge with the new white-red Tokens Matter deck. So this card has proven to be very good. Pillage the Bog rounds us out as a card that we use to find the rest of our pieces. So a couple of fetch lands in the mana base, 4 copies of Restless Cottage to go with our friend the Tortoise, but just generally being good. This is, I think, the best manland of this cycle, and it has proven itself to be excellent. So without further stalling for time, let's go over to the gameplay. Let's play some head games. Famasa. What are we bringing today? Okay, 2 land hand on the play. Analyst, Virtue. Let's try it. Start with our tap land. Gives us a lot of options. It's not a terrible place to start. They started with a colorless land, gives us a little hope. We dumped 3 consecutive lands, terrible for us. They kill our Aftermath Analyst. Alright, we draw a 3rd land. So we play Nissa. And if they remove it, we have another one. Did they start with a double removal hand? They sure did. Look at them. We'll go for Spelunking this time. And we drew a land. Saves us from missing a land drop. What is our opponent doing? They seem to be playing some kind of white-based control based on the colorless lands and the double get lost. Caretaker's Talent. Gonna be very sad with what happens next. Okay, so I think I do play Nissa. And then I play this land. Get a green mana. I tear asunder your Caretaker's Talent. And I activate one of these maps. We'll put that in the graveyard. 3 lands in the graveyard means Aftermath Analyst makes 3 extra mana. Okay. Carrot Cake for our opponent, and they get to activate it, both paths of it if they want. So they are definitely on that white-red. They just didn't have the red to get started. Okay. So I can now Aftermath Analyst and get a bunch of lands back and make a bunch of mana with Nissa. So we will do that. I could also play Virtue of Persistence here. They don't have anything to animate with it, and I don't actually either, so that doesn't seem like the best plan. So instead, we are going to cast Aftermath Analyst and immediately activate it. So with this, when all the lands come back, I'm going to get a bunch of mana with Nissa. So we'll go black, and also green, and also black, and also green. And we... Oh, too much for our opponent. Doesn't want to sit around and watch us play. Old Sky Guy. Are you Anakin Skywalker? Are you going to bring balance to the Force with your Smeagol avatar? Here we are again. 2 land hands. I've just been getting them lately. Okay, so I have 3 different things I can do with 2 lands. Still kind of feels bad if I don't draw a 3rd land. Against my better judgment. Who am I kidding? My judgment just isn't that good. Can't call it my better judgment when really we will, as we often do, start with a tap land. Tiny Bones is a problem. Okay, so here's the problem with Tiny Bones. If we play... I can't play Vinelasher. Let's just get that out of the way. Can't play Vinelasher. Because... I can play Analyst, though. Because they can't both destroy and reanimate Analyst with Tiny Bones. Yep. Okay. Okay. We're going to go for Vinelasher now. Because they have to have exactly the right set of removal spells to remove both of these and reanimate the Vinelasher, and it would be very unlikely. Liliana. Okay, go for the throat. Second cut down. Yeah, we're trading, buddy. Sure. Okay. All right, Nissa. Escape tunnel. We'll get a forest with the escape tunnel. We'll make... It actually doesn't matter because I'm not going to use it. Oh, I guess it might have mattered, but we're just going to say go. Yep. We will tear that asunder. And pass. I'm actually not interested in taking damage, and I'm not going to win with attacking, so... Not interested in taking damage from their Forsaken Miner at this point. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe I should be attacking there. Okay. You get your critters back. I sacrifice one. Ooh. Don't have enough to cast it again. Okay. I don't love how this is going. I really desperately need to draw more lands. I think that means I play Nissa and say go. Yeah. Taking 2 from... If they remove Nissa and hit me with the Miner, it's not a huge loss. Doesn't really feel like I've lost a lot of ground there. Conscript. Tiny Bones. Any land off the top. That will do. What's in my graveyard? So I can get Vinelasher and Analyst back. Destroy everything -2. Yeah, this is a blowout. We will grab another forest. Make another black mana. Find that beautiful Lumra. And we're going to destroy creature with power 2. Return 2 creatures from my graveyard. Good game. Bloomburrow. You are the bomb. You really are. Everyone says so. How many lands do we have in our hand? Is it 2? I don't think I can keep this. This is also bad. This is tough because it's like I actually think I pitched the Analyst because it doesn't really do anything yet. Let's see if we can survive long enough for our deck to feed us decent cards. The answer is no. Weirdly enough, I'm going to pitch a land the first time. Sure. Take the go for the throat. So I don't imagine them having something I can terrace under, right? Like, unlikely it feels like. So I think I'm going to play this other swamp just so they don't know I have a green in hand. Ooh, not good. Not good. Yep. Okay. All right. They turned the Bandit's Talon into a rack. What is it? 1 or fewer cards. Okay. So the problem I have right now is if I play the Tortoise, I think I'm going to wait. This may seem strange. There is a method. Okay. I'm taking 2 a turn now, but that's what I wanted. Restless Cottage. We're going to try to get our hand size back up to where we're not taking damage anymore. If they want to consistently make me discard. Yep. Yep. Doing very well. I'm curious if perhaps they want to trade with my Tortoise. I don't think they do. I don't have enough to activate both of them next turn. Beginning of your draw step, okay? Don't do it. Interesting. Well, so the Blossoming Tortoise... They do draw an extra card. So the Blossoming Tortoise makes another land. So 1, 2, 3, and then I do have enough left over to activate the other Restless Cottage. Okay. Okay. I actually don't want to dig lands out at this point, I don't think. So you're drawing an additional card. Interesting. So do I hold up Restless Cottage? Or do I play Aftermath Analyst? I play Aftermath Analyst because I don't want them to be able to make me discard an additional card. Yep. Because they're drawing the card anyway, and I'm taking the damage anyway. They've got to do me 9. They've actually got to do me 12. So the current... Okay. I don't see 12 damage. You got it. You have to leave up both blockers. I lose 2. Activating both Restless Cottages. Getting in with everybody. You have to block 2. I mean, they have a limited amount of mana. I mean, I'm not in a great position either. It's not even a question. Like, they have to be very careful here at 1 life and try very hard to kind of get to a stabilized place. They're holding up a removal spell for Restless Cottage. Lumra's a good draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. I can't really hold cards. I basically have to play off the top. It's going to be very hard for me to find this last point of damage. Let's see if they've got it. Do you have another removal spell? They've got it. Friends. Remarkable. Both Gix's commands in the graveyard. Haven't drawn any of our Vinelashers yet. Very close, very close. Vinelasher. I think it's impossible for them to not die here. Vinelasher? How many you got? There it is. And that is game. Let's say I have instant speed life gain. Mycomancy. That's fun. That's a fun guy right there. That's a real fun guy. This is fine. I mean, it will slow down. All right, we're gonna be smart. We're gonna play Escape Tunnel first, because it is the bad fetch. Hired Claw. When you attack with lizards, deal 1 damage. Okay. Now we will show our opponent a swamp. We will play the Restless Cottage tapped because we have Cut Down. I'm gonna sneeze, you guys. Yeah, I'm just gonna take the 2. That's where we move the Cut Down. Okay. So, options. I think we just play a land, and play the first Vinelasher. I think that's right. Well, because here's the thing. If they don't interact with our board, we play the second Vinelasher and Fabled Passage them for 8 next turn. This little 1-drop, I tell you, like, Iridescent Vinelasher, that is a pretty lizard. Okay, we're just discarding a card. What is it, though? Boy, that's tough. I want all my cards. I mean, as strange as it may sound, I think it's go for the throat. Is it the second Vinelasher? Am I being greedy? Yeah, I'm being greedy. Okay. One land, 1 in the graveyard. Soon to be another. There's no legitimate reason to wait on this, right? There isn't. There's no legitimate reason to wait. Yep. No attacks. I can't attack through your 2/2. Holding up go for the throat. Holding up Terrace Under 2. They have another Thought Stalker. I will block. I will block here. Yep. Mm-hmm. So they're trying to combat trick me. I'm not going to allow that to happen. How many lands do we have? 3 in the bin. This doesn't tap, right? Yep. Well, I mean, 3 in the bin is not a terrible thing. Lizards have been impressive today. Jasper. Yeah, Jasper can get it. A little bit of regret now. Little bit of regret. Little bit of regret. So we're popping the analyst this turn, almost certainly. The only scenario where I see us not doing it, yeah, that's fine. I suppose I could have popped in response, and I probably should have. Yeah, I did that wrong. Left 3 damage on the table, y'all. Okay. Let's get some swamps. Activate Restless Cottage. What are we taking out of their graveyard? Probably Gev. We're pretty far ahead at this point, and we're definitely getting to Virtue first. And once I get Virtue down, they're probably done for, because I can start reanimating their own stuff. Although I did exile Jasper. That's a lizard. Look at this tech. Very cool. Thinking I want the available mana, and that I'm not really worried about the landfall triggers at this stage. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's what we're doing. This is just a 3-2, right? I mean, I think we slam Virtue. Well, I think we get our own. I think we get Aftermath Analyst back. Yes, our opponent gets in for 3. Play something on second main phase. Doesn't. They're holding up removal. Okay. We are getting our Aftermath Analyst. 39 cards in the library. We're looking real good. We dumped 3 cards. Nissa. Blossoming Tortoise. Fabled Passage enters tapped, which practically does us no good. Okay. And I think that's all we can do for the turn. It feels very much like we've stabilized. They are 2 mana away from their own Virtue. And we have answers to theirs, although we used one of them already. I wonder what it is. When that creature is turned face up, deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. So they both trigger. So they're representing 6 damage. Okay. Now we're going to get Vinelasher back. Okay. Let's fetch. Lands matters deck. Feels like it takes forever. There's a lot of actions. So I think we just get in here. How many lands do we have in the graveyard? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we're exiling your creature. They come in tapped, so it doesn't matter. I can't wait to see what they're holding. Doesn't matter. Okay, let's do it. Going blockers. Blocking Nissa, blocking. Yep. 6 damage to my face. Yep. Yep. Ooh, gains life. Okay, so they gain 5 life. That takes them to 11. Yeah. Okay. Okay, back at 7 for our opponent. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on. This first. I don't think it's enough. That's it. There's no more lands in my graveyard. That's it. Jay Cortez 2015. Best brony on the block. Alright, Jay. Okay. Vinelasher, analyst, little early game interaction. I'm on the draw, but I'm on the draw with a removal on turn 2 or an aftermath on turn 2. And the mana to get to Spelunking on time. So let's do it. 1 mana, really aggressive threat. Very bad fetch land. I love very bad fetch land. See, my very bad fetch land is like super intimidating. Sure. They are attacking me for 1. Pump spells? No. Okay. Sacrificing? Proliferating? No. Cool. Now they're wondering, what is my opponent doing? Well, friend, I'm getting a swamp. Then we will play a forest, and we will take back that 1 life. Where are you going to put that -2? Seems good. Frankly, mono red aggro is probably insanely good against us, so... What's the choice, friend? Which pump spell to use? These are the really tough choices in our life. There we go. What do you know? 12 damage in a single turn. We're going to go with Spelunking because it is our only option. Drawing a land. Yeah, putting this swamp into play. Playing this 1-mana Vinelasher. So I might make it to the Gix's command. Big maybe. Very easy for them to just completely run us over at this point. Iridescent Vinelasher does the damage, which is very interesting. There might be some synergies there. Okay. Vinelasher's a 5/3. I'm sorry, Emberheart Challenger's a 5/3. Do you have a removal spell? Yep. Yeah, okay. I mean, being at 4 is still pretty terrible. What's your last card? Nice. Early good games are beautiful. I love that. Hey, you got there. Senior Tech. Okay. Let's do it. I actually think it's not unreasonable to play the first Vinelasher. I might be wrong about that, but I'm a fan of putting this out on turn 1 because if it draws out a removal spell, it makes it so my analyst doesn't get it. I'm here for it. Okay. Get in. Analyst. So now the cut down they're holding has 2 targets to it. So what would I have drawn? Pitiless Carnage. Go for the Throat Blossoming Tortoise. Glimpse the Core. Our friend is ramping. Oh, look, they're 3 colors too. Okay, now I feel very bad. So do I play Fabled Passage or not? I'm going to say not. I'm going to hold up the Go for the Throat. Not that I have another option at this point. Looks like our friends have a removal spell. I mean, they are Senior Tech. They probably have the most interesting options in their hand. What are we doing? So they don't have double white. Yeah, that's fine. I'm holding Go for the Throat for their creatures. That's okay. Lands it is. I don't really know why I'm holding Fabled Passage here. Oh my god. Is this Domain? Can it be? White. It's just 3 color. Fascinating. What do you got at 5 there, friend? Now I'm really worried because they're ramping into something super cool. And I have run out of gas. I mean, drawing a removal spell is not the worst thing that could happen, but there we go. Second human. They do have double black now, so I guess it didn't matter what color that they got. Phyrexian. Yeah. Okay, they don't have enough to activate Restless Cottage, so... Well, there's an interesting turn of events. Land. Pillage. Well, hold on. Do I pillage? Yeah, I just pillage now. I pillage now because that leaves up either go for the throat or... Okay, so what do I get? I've got Lumra over here. I've got Gix's command. I mean, I feel like Gix's command does a lot because it gets things back and probably blows up their board. Lumra just gets removed. This is tough. It might be Gix's command. It's the most versatile of the spells I have available right now. I think I'm safe to attack. What is happening? They're just ramping like crazy. I'm holding the removal. I don't care about the invasion of Zendikar. I mean, it was a tragedy, but nothing for it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and then I still get to hold up 4. So I feel very strongly that they are a board wipe deck. Like, I feel very strongly that that's what's going on here, right? And they're probably a Sunfall deck. So having 2 of my Vinelashers die feels very bad. I feel like I have to save a Vinelasher for... They're blocking. That tells me that that tells me they've got a board wipe. Yeah, you got it. You get your 1 point in there on the evasion. Here it comes. Lockdown, huh? That's fine. Okay. Only 1 land in graveyard. I have to play this very carefully. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can actually spelunking into Blossoming Tortoise. It takes my shields down. Okay. It takes my shields down, but only a little, you know? Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. Maybe that was wrong. So what I could have done is I could have plotted Pitiless Carnage. I didn't hit a single land. That feels very bad. I mean, I have removal spells for just about anything they could possibly do at this point, so I don't feel like I'm in a bad position, but I'm also not sure what they're playing, so here comes their virtue. They don't have anything, so they are trying to reanimate my things, which doesn't really do them a whole lot of good. Please waste a removal spell on the Blossoming Tortoise. Do I do this now? Yes. We do this now. We get another swamp. Okay, so we... attack with the tortoise. We get a forest. That may seem strange, I know, but I'm saving the fetches. There aren't a lot of things left in my... Plotting Pitiless Carnage. I could play an Aftermath Analyst here and draw some shit out. So what do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have enough to cast Iridescent Vinelasher and cast and activate an Aftermath Analyst. So I actually do think that there's no reason for me not to do this right now. No more lands. That's crazy. Yep. I knew it was coming. I think I still have them. Depends a lot on what they do here. If they activate that the Restless Cottage, I'm fairly certain I win. Okay, so yep. If they have a counter, I'm going to be very sad. Land. Here's the full combo, friends. That's it. Liposuction? Nah, no, friend. You don't have to do that. Just be you. Okay, we've got the like stars of the show in our hand today. I don't know that we've seen a Lumra, but we've got Vinelasher and Lumra. I gotta tell you, this feels like a do nothing hand. So I don't know. Oh, this feels like a do nothing hand. Mulligan. This is fine. I don't love it, but it's probably fine. Well, not all interaction, but interaction and draw some cards at some point, I hope. We're going to keep 6. Think we tuck a land. Start with Escape Tunnel. Let's wait till our opponent shows us what they're doing before we show them what we're doing. They probably know, if they know the meta at all. Not that this is a very meta deck. Old Swifty. We're in trouble. Alright, we gotta get a swamp so that we can plot Pitiless Carnage. Yeah, we'll show the red. I'll take one from the Swift Spear. If they try to pump it, I'll remove it, but I'll take one from it. That's the math they're trying to do in their head right now. Does it make sense for them to go in, knowing that I've got a little bit of stick right now that I'm definitely displaying? Okay. I mean, that's a better target. That's a better target. So we gotta... Actually, we're not gonna do anything, so it may make sense to plot this now. I don't know if it does, though. You know what I mean? I'm gonna play the tap land and hold up the Terra Sunder. I don't think the Terra Sunder is going to be valuable until it gets to 4 mana, but... Here comes Swifty. Okay. 4's not a lot. Plot. Does the plot thicken? Okay, that feels very good. I think I just have to drop a land and say go. I don't want to play Nissa until it makes sense to. Like, until I can back it up with another play. So we're just going to play a land. And we're going to say go. Being very, very patient. 1 damage. What does this do? Neat. Let's get it out of here. You can't even do the thing that replaces it with a detective. At least I don't think so. I think that's dies, not leaves play. Amazing. Okay. I think we get in with the Restless Cottage. So I'm representing 5 additional life next turn, if I can live that long. And frankly, Virtue is very good here. So they gotta have creatures. Here's Heartfire. Gives it haste. Beautiful. Pumps it again. Get in, buddy. Pump it again. You know what? Cook it again. Ooh, they got a land too. Did they already play a land? Okay, so they lose that card. Great. Okay. Virtue. You do nothing. I don't know. I'm at 10. They have 1 card left in hand. I think I play Nissa. They can kill Nissa for all I'm concerned. If it takes 3 damage instead of my face, I'm good with it. I like you, Nissa, but... Oh, just outpatienced. All right, my friends and opponents. So, what did we learn today? This Lands Matter deck can be very fun, feels very much like a combo deck. We didn't see that very much in the gameplay today. Our opponents didn't stick around long enough for us to machine gun them to death with Vinelasher triggers, but it is perfectly capable of doing that. Is it really effective in this metagame? Even though we had a winning record today, I would argue that it is not. It is quite on the slow side and really vulnerable to a lot of different things. It can be a lot of fun to play, though. If you're a player who likes to do the Lands Matter thing in Commander, this could be a good standard option for you. I really do love Lumra, Bellow of the Woods as a top-end card. It goes very well with a couple of these other things. And I actually think Iridescent Vinelasher is pretty great. In a deck where you are ramping, Pillage the Bog almost always gets you what you need it to, and we see that a couple of times in the games as well. All in all, I don't think it's a top tier deck by any stretch. What's amazing about this current standard is there are several green-black decks that I want to play. So if you stay to the end, I will give you the benefit of informational power here by telling you that I'm not going to follow around the two-color circuit this time. I'm just going to play what looks like fun to me over the course of the next couple of weeks in this format. So you might see a couple of green-black decks because there's a couple of very cool green-black decks to play here. So this was very low barrier for entry for me because the new cards in it, the only new cards in it were Iridescent Vinelasher and Lumra, which is really just 6 cards, 2 mythics, 4 rares. I already had the Fable passes just kicking around from when Eldraine was actually in Standard. So all of that to say, this for me with my collection was not a high barrier for entry. So hopefully we'll play some stuff that is more all in on the Bloomburrow in the near future. Super fun to play. Thank you all for supporting the channel, watching, liking, subscribing. Please, maybe. We like you. You can do that to help us out. And we will see you very soon.